What's your experience in college like? The college that you went to, what's the name of the college?
Arlington Baptist.
Arlington Baptist. Okay. You go to Arlington Baptist. Like, what is college life like at Arlington Baptist?
It's small. It's a small school. There are 2 dorms. There's a boys' dorm and a girls' dorm. So it's not a huge place where you can get lost. Just a handful of buildings on campus, but nice. I mean, it's a beautiful campus. It's up on a hill. Actually, there's a lot of history behind it from the days of Bonnie and Clyde during Prohibition.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde have
at
a
Arlington Baptist.
Yes, they're not alumni.
Oh, okay.
But it's a little different than that. But in the days, it was illegal to gamble, betting on horse races, alcohol itself was prohibited. But during those days, they had this whole underground network where the whole area is gated in, and there was this guard tower. So everybody had to be let in, and if police would ever come, they could radio into people that then this whole casino, walls would flip around, roulette tables would disappear, underground tunnels that camp in a tea garden. So by the time the cops would get from the gate up to where they were, they're just sitting outside sipping tea. I mean, gangsters and, Bonnie and Clyde, it's just an amazing story. But there was a man named J. Frank Norris, a controversial firebrand preacher in the 1920s, that he was preaching against the sin of alcohol and gambling and those type of things. And he said that area was called the Top of the Hill Terrace. And he said, God is going to give us that hill. And several years later, he rode with the police out there to raid that hill. They arrested all those people. And J. Frank Norris bought the campus, bought that whole area and turned it into a seminary. So that's,
wow.
Yeah. So that's where we went to school. So an amazing place, really.
That's a cool story.
Yeah.
Not a story I thought I was going to get, but one I'm certainly glad to have.
Yeah, it's a historical landmark. I mean, you go up there, you can take the tour today. You can go call the office and schedule a tour, and it's amazing all the work they've done. When I was there, they unearthed a new tunnel too. It was kind of a big thing. But yeah, I mean, they've got wheelbarrows that they used to move the cash around, and the horse stables. They turned the old horse stables into a classroom. I mean, it's some pretty cool stuff. What God has done.
That's
there.
pretty awesome.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it is.
When I know that you are a very well-educated man. You have multiple degrees, right? What are all your degrees in?
All theology.
All theology, yeah. Okay. So when you first went to school, was that what you went to school for?
Yes.
For theology? Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question. I told you that I had a moment where I had a professor, my principles of biblical interpretation class. I felt like he knew everything, and I was an absolute idiot. Did you have a moment like that where you were like, "Oh, I don't know even what I am telling people that I know"?
Yeah, for sure. I think freshman level stuff, you come in and you realize how much you don't know.
Yeah.
And you might, raised in church, and I was blessed with opportunities to preach and teach Sunday school and things like that throughout high school, because my church knew, where I was headed and giving me opportunities.
Yeah.
And so, I was a nerd. I did Bible memory competitions and things like that. So, I would memorize a chapter of the Bible, or we would be quizzed on. So, I felt like I had a firm grasp on the words of Scripture, but the hermeneutical part of it, that interpretation and how it all fits together, the systematic theology, it blew my mind. And I had a professor when I went to Southwestern that I told somebody, when I think his autopsy will reveal that his brain is just a Bible. I've never met somebody that he could just talk and talk and talk about it. And it is amazing. And I'm very grateful for higher education. I think it does a lot of good.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I'm not a person, I don't technically believe that every preacher needs to go to college.
Sure, yeah.
But I definitely think that every preacher would definitely benefit from additional education.
And I think ongoing education too. It might not be right out of high school, finish this, get a position.
Yeah.
But I think you try to always keep your sword sharp, and anytime there's opportunities to take a class or, to further that education, I think it's very wise.
Yeah. And because when I remember I told you when I learned about apologetics.
Yeah.
And the reason I learned about apologetics is because I started having questions. I was in church, like I said, my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And then somewhere in my high school years, I started to have a moment where I was like, but is it real?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know what it says, but is it real?
Yeah.
Right. And then that's how I first learned about apologetics. And I was like, oh, there's answers for all these. There's answers for questions I never thought about having. Mm-hmm. My question to you is, did you have any moments where you were questioning, where you were doubting, where you was like, I don't know if it's real.
Yeah, sure.